All over America, music is ringing and people are singing. From Nashville to Seattle, New York to LA, and everywhere in between. The heart of America is beating in its music. Get on board for the trip of a lifetime as we celebrate our nation and its song. Destination America.
Detroit is home of the automobile, but better yet, it is also the home of Motown music. The Motown Record Corporation was founded by Berry Gordy Jr. in the early 1960s. Motown Records was a former photography studio. Gordy was confident with his plan that he had a sign reading Hitsville, USA placed in front of the building.
$2 in my pocket.
music began in the singing hollows of the Appalachian Hills and moved through the honky-tonks and barn dances of rural America, finally ending up in the glitzy city of Nashville, Tennessee. When you are downtown Nashville, you can visit the beautiful Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Elvis Presley's gold-plated Cadillac is displayed at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Wait, wasn't Elvis a rock and roll singer from the 1950s? Yes, he was, but the museum is home to all kinds of music called country, as well as the music it has influenced like rock and roll. Our next stop is quite a distance away. We head all the way to Seattle, Washington. Seattle is the home to MoPop, Museum of Pop Culture. It has many exhibits on different types of music and all things pop culture. One of the cool exhibits they have is the Guitar Gallery. You can see many guitars from the 1770s to present. You will be able to see famous guitars and creators and musicians who played them. Broadway, there's no place like it in the world. It's a street of bright lights and big dreams. It's the avenue in New York City where you can see wonderful live musicals. Broadway starts at the tip of Manhattan Island, but in Midtown New York City, Around the famous 42nd Street, a cluster of theaters emerged around 1900 that became known as Broadway. Some of the famous musicals are Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, Lion King, Cats, and South Pacific. All aboard for Broadway. If you like rock and roll, then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum in Cleveland, Ohio is the place for you. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum has lots of cool things like electric guitars, drum sets, costumes, and other things that trace the history of this great form of music from the earliest day in the 1950s right up to today. You can listen to lots of music at the listening stations in the museum and see old movies like Yellow Submarine and hear music by the Beatles.
Rock
From coast to coast, from mountaintop to valley, the music of America tells our story. Whether you're a fan of rock and roll or country, Broadway or Motown, you will find it all right here in our favorite destination for music, Destination America.